If you are already strengthening in the gym or at home, do you know what you're wanting to achieve and how you're going to push yourself to get there? In this video, I'm going to change the way you look at exercise. Let me start from the beginning. Hi, I'm Dr. Jess, owner and founder of Core Essentials Physical Therapy and Wellness, and lover of movement. Return on investment is what we think about when we spend money. We want to get something out of that money spent. Now, what about time? If we're going to spend our time doing something like exercising, what's the return we're going to get on that? Because ultimately, that's how we need to think. So if we're going to spend our time on exercise, what is that return that we're going to receive for time spent? That's what we're going to be exploring in this video. So let's think about what is that possible return? Well, exercise leads to a bunch of different benefits. One is going to be improved physique. 2, improved weight. 3, improved mood. 4, improved cognition, ability to focus. 5, we're going to get into improved health. 6, we're going to get into that preventative state of trying to prevent things in the future. So now let's think, if you're already exercising or are aiming to want to exercise, ideally, we want this to be about more than just how the outside world sees us. So improved physique and weight is beneficial with exercise, but really, if exercise is going to be something that you're going to commit to time, energy, and money doing, then you're going to want more benefit than just physique and weight in order for that to be a consistent thing that you stick with for the long term. So that's why you really want to think about all of these other benefits. The more you put those into your value system of improved mood, improved cognition, improved sleep, improved overall health, blood pressure, and all of the preventative nature of improved chronic illness later in life, that's diabetes, cancer, any sort of heart-related illness, heart attack, stroke, it's preventative for all of that. So now you think, wow, my whole perspective has changed when I think about exercise. Not only do I get improved physique and weight, but I also get all of these other benefits. So now let's talk about, how do I achieve that? Well, the 3 most common ways to strengthen in the gym or at home, but let's talk about the gym right now, is we're going to strengthen using machines, we're going to strengthen using free weights and kettlebells, or we're going to strengthen using unstable surfaces. So first, we're going to explore machines. This is a place to start. You walk into a gym, you sit down on that machine, and you start pressing, pulling, doing whatever the machine is telling you to do. You are going to use your muscles, and you're going to overload them, and that will develop strength in very specific global muscles. These are the muscles that move your bones in space. So if I'm going to do a chest press, I'm going to be using my pecs to press that machine forward and press it back. But I'm not having to worry about where my body is in space. I'm seated, I'm up against the machine. All of that is done for me. I'm simply having to think about moving these pieces of metal. Now, let's talk about free weights and kettlebells. So with these, I do have to think about where my body is in space. I have to think about my posture, where I'm standing, how are my shoulders placed, how are my feet placed. Then I'm going to think about, how am I going to load those muscles? There's so much more complexity with this kind of strengthening. So the amount of training that's required starts going up when we add this type of strengthening. That could be barbells as well. Now let's talk about unstable surfaces. This includes TRX, BOSU, Yoga Ball, for example. The unstable surfaces means not only do you have to think about where's your body in space, but you're having to stabilize to not fall off of it. Then you're going to challenge your global muscles in some way with either free weights or body weight support in order to then continue that global muscle challenge. So when you use unstable surfaces like these, that's when you're going to be getting the benefits of improved neurogenesis in the brain, which is how we develop these motor pathways to stay coordinated and stable. We're going to be using stabilizing muscles, which are the muscles that support our spine and joints. We're going to be using our balance responses. So this is how we use the small muscles in our ankles and hips to make sure that we keep our center of mass, which is around our belly button, within our base of support, which is the width of our feet, so that we don't fall. And we challenge our global muscles, which are the muscles that move our bones in space. So the minute that a bone starts to move, I'm using a global muscle. The minute that I stay still and don't fall, now I'm using a stabilizing muscle. So if we can use both together, I'm going to get a lot more benefit than if I'm just doing global muscles alone. The con to using unstable surfaces is we can't overload the global muscles as much. So we're not going to get as much of that muscle bulk when we use those. So sometimes it is good to combine the two, where we can do activities where we're more stable on the ground and we can push or pull more weight, versus all unstable surfaces. We will be strengthening, but if you want bulk, you're not going to get it. But again, what are you aiming to achieve? So we're going to go back to that concept of return on investment. So are you looking to achieve muscle bulk primarily? Well, then put your eggs into the basket of free weights. So that could be some sort of like a barbell, dumbbell, kettlebell, anything where you can kind of progressively overload those muscle groups. That's going to give you that bigger muscle. If you're looking for muscle strength, endurance, stability, improved, again, neurogenesis in the brain, motor pathways, balance responses, all of that, that's going to be your unstable surfaces. So now we're going to go back to our 3 examples. So we have machines at the gym, we've got free weights and kettlebells, and we've got unstable surfaces. So a good place to start, if you don't yet know how to strengthen, start with those machines at the gym. It's great. You're going to really get comfortable with pushing each type of muscle group and understanding where you're supposed to feel the push, the pull, whatever muscle that you might be using. If you want to advance your training and do some extra muscle groups all at the same time and have to work on coordination, that's when you start pulling in free weights, kettlebells, and barbells. That's going to get a little bit more bulk with a little bit more complexity, and you're going to get more done in less time. Then, if you really want all of those benefits that you achieve with unstable surfaces, start pulling those into your workouts. So you can do those at home, you can do those in the gym, it doesn't matter, which is the beautiful part of free weights, kettlebells, and unstable surfaces, because they can be done anywhere. You can go out to a park, you can be in your backyard, you can do a garage gym, or go to that gym space. Either is fine. Now that I've covered these 3 common ways to strength train, what you're going to do today is get started. If you aren't strengthening at all, get started today. Start with a basic routine that you can handle. If you're already strengthening, take this information that you've learned to add to your plan to make it the most comprehensive plan possible. That way you might be doing machines now, add some free weights and kettlebells. If you're already doing free weights and kettlebells, add unstable surfaces. That way you really get the most out of your time spent while you're exercising. Understanding these strategies of how to implement a comprehensive strengthening routine is very complicated. My Peak Performance course series will give you the confidence to build your own full body routines and will teach you how to master unstable surfaces. I'm excited for you to reach peak performance.